Art has been used as a form of activism for a long time, resulting in changes to unfair systems, improving accessibility to important resources and facilities, and change attitudes of the public by bringing important conversations and discussions to the surface. An exhibition that explores art and activism, specifically feminism, is Women in Revolt. Women in Revolt is an exhibition in London displaying a collection of works from women made during the 70s, 80s, and 90s. An artist I discovered through this exhibition is Lucy Toothpaste, Lucy Whitman. She was deeply involved in the punk scene in the 70s, inserting herself into a male-dominated space to make a point that women belong there and should take up space. She also made a zine about her experiences in this realm called Job. I will be looking into fanzines because I enjoy making them and make them as part of my work. I feel as though they are an underrated form of activism, although there is the question of how effective they are. I think they are effective because they can be made and reproduced very cheaply, so they're accessible to the poorer demographic. And they are small, so they easily distributed all over the world, and you don't need to send physical copies. You could email them to people who want them, and they can print them themselves. So they're very, very globalized. It's easy to reach a specific target audience and find like-minded people. They also start a conversation, but then there's the cons. So it's uncertain how far the conversation will go and how many people the information will reach. So you don't actually know if a change will be made. I looked at a few different zines: Riot Girl, Femme Whore, Bikini Kill, Shocking Pink, and the F Word. Bikini Kill started off as a zine that turned into a band, so I think that shows how important this scene is for some people. Like, it can open a lot of opportunities. The zine that stuck out the most to me was called Tenacious. This was a zine made by women incarcerated in Oregon. It includes accounts of what's going on inside the prison, like lack of healthcare, being HIV positive in prison, the lack of education in prisons, or the lack of opportunities for education in prisons, giving up children for adoption, and sexual harassment by prison guards. In an interview with one of the women involved, Vicky Law, she talks about how some of the information is still censored because there's no means of producing and printing the zines inside the prison, so they have to go through a few people before they reach the publisher. So if there's something that the prison guards, for example, don't want to be spoken about, they can say, you have to remove the material. So it's not a completely true reflection of what is going on, but it is an insight that we wouldn't otherwise get. The format of the zine allows these women's voices to be heard all across the world and is a general representation of what zines can do and what they can become. Going back to what I was saying about them being easily distributed, leads into the idea of zines building a community. So people often arrange zine fests where people who make zines come together to either trade or sell what they've made. And you can meet people who make zines about the same thing as you do. And also, I think the essence of it is quite non-profit punk, not for money, like totally against capitalism, but there is the option to sell them and then donate the money to charity. Looking into this subject has informed my work a lot, because I was making them and thinking, how good are they? But now that I've seen other people do it, I appreciate my work more, because I feel like maybe they did make a difference. Even if it is just a small impact, they're very useful and effective in sharing information. I think a key part of the zine culture is the visual language that's being created, because the process is very punk DIY, using analog collage and photocopying to reproduce. Creates the whole aesthetic, the black and white Xerox effects. It sets the tone for the content of the publications. Like, before you even read it, before you see the content, there is a sense of anarchy and confrontation, which you will see inside the zine too.